Microsoft just gave us another perfect example of why they cannot be trusted with taking screenshots of all your activity. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a couple videos explaining Windows Recall, and I'll link a comment here to the first video. Someone's online life doesn't maybe necessarily seem like that big of a deal, but we're talking people's email accounts that they used for everything. It's important to note that despite your feelings on the situation that kind of prompted this applies to you. This applies to everybody, because the point is Microsoft acted unilaterally against individuals, not because they did anything illegal or wrong, just because it decided it didn't like what they were doing. It didn't like that they were calling family members in a certain area of the world. That's it. These individuals were using Microsoft emails like Hotmail to use a Microsoft service, Skype, to make international calls at an affordable rate to family members. Obviously, there's difficulty getting internet in certain corners of the world right now, and international calls are expensive. So Skype helped fill that gap for a lot of people. Because Microsoft had control over those emails, it shut them down completely without any warning. Well, that may not seem like that big of a deal when you start to consider everything you use your email for. It starts to get pretty dire. These people didn't just lose decades worth of, emails, contacts, memories, but they've also lost access to things like bank accounts. Microsoft is a private company, so they can shut anyone's account down at any point for any reason. Like, they don't have to be credibly accused of or suspected of doing anything wrong whatsoever. Microsoft can just unilaterally just be like, nope, we don't like what you're doing. And in this case, they won't tell anyone what any of these people supposedly did wrong. All they keep saying is that blocking in Skype can occur in response to suspected fraudulent activity, but they don't explain that any further. Basically, these individuals committed the cardinal sin of having family members who live in an inconvenient part of the world. For the I have nothing to hide crowd, neither did they. If Microsoft can cause this much harm to an individual's life just by flipping a single switch on one email account because they don't like the geographic location of their wife and kids that they are making calls to, imagine what else they can do with screenshots of everything you do. Imagine what other excuses they can find to completely fuck with you. You may agree with the reasoning behind these shutoffs, but what happens when you don't? What happens when your beliefs don't align with Microsoft's, which shouldn't be hard to imagine considering your interests rarely do?